Alrighty, so how's everybody doing? Welcome back to a new devlog. So this is devlog 2 progress report. I have literally started writing the script today. So the past 2 days, I have done absolute shit. And the problem is that I have too many distractions that I cannot control. Now, what I did do is I was talking to a friend of mine who has gotten into music at the same time that I did back in high school. And I didn't know that he was producing music, but he will always listen to my stuff. And, I only found out about that after we graduated high school, almost like half a year later. He was, he just started posting stuff. So I'm like, I didn't know you write music, but he was also a little bit into game development, and we were having a conversation with another friend about just general projects, stuff we were working on, and a part of that was a conversation of how can you not get stale at music writing. And I mean, in my case, I would usually take a break from music writing for a little while. I would take a pause, let my mind clear and refresh, and in that meantime I would usually be doing game development, so programming, design, graphical stuff, all that based on that's him, by the way. All that just to take a break, to have your mind be occupied with something else other than music. So he was dicking around game development. He also had Game Maker Studio. He had the free version that you can get off of Steam, the Game Maker Studio 1. And when it went on sale for Humble Bundle for $15 for complete iOS and HTML5 Android exports, because they were coming out with Game Maker Studio 2, I told him, for $15 you might as well, pick up the entire thing. You're definitely going to use that piece of software. So that was really awesome. But obviously, the support for the software is going to be fairly strained in the last few days. And sorry for the whole blown out face. Apparently this is what my webcam thinks I look like. It's a webcam. Now, I do actually swear to God that this webcam is positioned at the exact same distance as it was last time, but I have actually taken off the manual focus mod I basically CNC'd out for this webcam, because this thing was working fairly well, or not fairly well, and I didn't think it was, I thought I was going to use it as way more for other videos than I actually did, so I figured, it's good. And I have jerry-rigged a one of those $10 like Chinese lenses that you can find on like AliExpress or eBay. It's a wide-angle lens attachment for your lens. That's why they're so cheap. It's not an actual lens, it's just an attachment for one. And this thing, I just hot glued the damn thing, but surprisingly enough, it works. Like, I can literally, like right now, I'm touching the lens and moving my finger around the lens. So this thing is actually capturing way more of the side view. You can see how, my right hand on your left is kind of traversing the edge. So yeah, anyways, that works. So now I can actually record, continue recording with my friend. In fact, I'm actually going to show you the mod I have on here. Okay, so there we go. Look at this damn thing. It works though. You technically, besides this point, you never have to see this webcam. And I bought this is a C270 webcam. I bought it for like $20 off of, some sale in the local store. So the fact that I can actually still, fuck around with it this way is absolutely hilarious. So yeah, this lens attachment, $10 off of AliExpress. You can look it up, $10-15, free shipping. And as you can see, there's a jar of nails or jar of nuts and bolts in the back that's counterweighing this webcam. So I mean, the things you do to get the stuff done. But anyways, way wider angle lens. I don't think there is a single webcam out there that actually has an angle this wide. So I mean, if I'm gonna buy a new webcam, better quality, I'm definitely mounting this thing back on it as well. Anyways, back to game development. So yeah, I haven't done shit today, except for, you know, the tiny little 1 page of script. At least something to get me started with. Definitely going to be something I'll do after I do this video. But anyways, my friend was coming over, or not was coming over, when we were having our talk, about, you know, the different projects. Since, you know, I said I do game development as a way of, you know, obviously have my ideas out there and have some projects out there, but I use game development also as a way to clear my mind from music writing, which is why I figured, you know, since you do some game development, you know, you've been playing around with the drag and drop stuff, which is like, you know, kind of like a beginner way of getting into game development, and afterwards you should really learn code or how to code stuff. I figured, you know what, how about, you know, I'll get like a couple of days, and you can come over and I'll give you the rounds up of basically what it is to do indie game development. So I mean, he's familiar with Game Maker, just from the drag and drop stuff, and I just decided, I figured, you know what, I have one of my projects. It was the Strange Events in Albimore, the game jam, the game jam game I was working on. So I figured, how about I wanted to remake that game one way or another, considering it has to be remade. When I was doing the game jam, the whole programming there was so many things scrapped from that project that it just has leftover code that's not doing anything, just laying all over the place. It was, since I didn't make the deadline, I might as well actually remake that game, and I figured, since I'm gonna do that, how about I'm gonna go ahead and make a tutorial out of it. So he came over, and that video actually should be up right now. It's called Jam Studio Crash Course for Absolute Beginners, because from that point, you know, that's basically what I'm doing. I'm showing my friend Arya how to program a game in code from scratch, from the very beginning, and I just tell him all the little things I learned, little you know, nooks and crannies, and some glitches you gotta avoid, and, you know, things that will save you time ahead of time that I had to learn myself over, you know, Googling and searching for forums and asking on forums, and just all of that you really learned with experience. So he's gonna come back tomorrow for a much longer session. So this is a 2-hour video, and we covered quite a lot of stuff there already. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back. We're gonna go back to this tomorrow, make a video, another video continuing the project, and we're gonna stop at a certain point. We're not gonna be making the entire game, but we're gonna make it up to the point where something is already playable. And that being said, you guys can watch it, and you guys can learn something from it. Hopefully you guys learn something from it, and we'll keep the ball rolling. I've also gone ahead and installed a little ceiling lamp on the wire, with a little switch on it too, so it kind of looks like retro. It looks a little jerry-rigged. I mean, pretty much everything in my room, goddamn, looks jerry-rigged. But what I wanted to do is at some point get some ceiling lamp off of like AliExpress or something, like something like this. Something like this that's maybe hanging off of a wire. Like, I've seen some of these things in this place. Lots of cool stuff. Lots of cool stuff for sure. But anyways, that's more like an aesthetic thing, and I don't actually need it. Whew. Anyway, so that tutorial should be up. You should see it. I actually have received a package from eBay. This is actually another Q8300 processor. Once again, 20 bucks, 25 bucks off of eBay, free shipping. This little sucker is gonna go into the computer downstairs. The music computer. Well, the computer that's dedicated solely towards music production and soundtrack production. Because right now it has a Core 2 Duo, and it's funny thing is that processor is still powerful enough to do most of the things I need for music writing. But I figured, you know, for 20 bucks, 2 more cores can't hurt, considering that Cubase is optimized to run multi-core processing. And in music production, the more, you know, like multi-core processing is usually mandatory, and good powerful processor is definitely gonna go a long way pretty much in anything, really. But considering that this is 20 bucks and it gives you 2 more cores over, you know, the Core 2 Duo that's currently sitting in the machine, I figured I might as well. And this was like almost 2 months ago that I bought this thing. So sometimes when you shop on eBay, you really gotta watch out for those shipping dates. I mean, at that time it wasn't urgent. I still didn't have this. I still didn't have my computer's, you know, well, computer, still waiting for the RAM for the computer over there. I still didn't have this. Excuse me. No editing. Okay, no editing. Gotta keep going. So I didn't have all of this set up, so I figured, you know what? At that point, I still needed an upgrade, and I'm gonna use the hell out of it. Another thing, the hard drive. A hard drive. I was gonna cover it in the last video, but unfortunately I got sidetracked like I do with all these speeches, and I just lost, you know, the track of what the hell I was talking about. Sometimes if there are unfinished topics, put them in the comments and I'm gonna, you know, continue the conversation next video. Anyways, this was Western Digital 250 gigabyte hard drive, but the thing is, this was a refurbished drive, and I have to say, and this may sound familiar, for 6 years, I have had a rule. No refurbished drives. They never work. First time in 6 years, I break my own goddamn promise. I break my own rule, and I buy a refurbished drive. And the only reason I bought it is because I have no fucking money. So, or I have no fucking spare money, I should say. So I bought a refurbished drive. It was 250 gigs. It was just enough to have the operating system and Game Maker Studio on it, considering the only purpose for the second computer is to run the game that I make on the first computer, so that I could test multiplayer stuff over the networking of the 2 PCs, over the LAN network. So yeah, plug it in, clinks 5 times, doesn't run. The Windows installation does not recognize it. So I'm like, oh, come on. So thankfully, you know, I bought it off of Newegg, Canada. So thankfully, they have provided me with a return label, which actually expires in 7 days. I should really get cracking on that. And stay there. So I'm gonna go ahead and return this drive and, you know, get my $20-something back. Well, perks of being bored. You care about everything. Anyways, moving on. What else? We're gonna continue the tutorial tomorrow. I am looking into a possibility of making a complete game development course for sale on the website, and it's gonna be basically a all-in-one man production development guide, so to speak. So we're gonna cover graphic stuff, we're gonna cover animation and some of the basics in animation, some books you should read. We're gonna cover, you know, the different engines you can work in and what are their advantages over one another, as well as we're gonna cover sound and audio and music writing, so, you know, you can actually get into that stuff. Production, publishing, you know, greenlight stage, and, you know, getting platforms to publish your games on. And yeah, have it as either as a complete package, or, you know, have the stuff in sections and have people, you know, instead of buying the entire package, they could just get the audio stuff or the graphics stuff, the programming and graphical stuff, or, you know, engine stuff. Anyways, this is gonna be a fairly short game dev vlog, just a few things. Still waiting for the RAM, gonna have to buy a new hard drive. Until then, can't really program the multiplayer for the RTAG Rise. And well, as soon as I upload this, see, there's a little lens flare right there. I'm gonna have to get one of those flare masks or the flare attachments to the for the cameras. Anyways, as soon as that up, or since this is done uploading, I'm gonna go ahead and return to script writing for the demo level of Artag Rise. Until then, I will see you guys next time, I guess. Or not until then. No editing. See ya.